Hello everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to another live Smite commentary. Yes, you're right, this is actually live, which is insane because I rarely actually do them. And what better way to start a live match by playing one of the most risky gods in one of the most risky games. I'm playing AMC with zero escape potential, with a team full of squishies, with barely any peel for the other teammates, against a team that's actually quite balanced. If you look at our opponent's team, they have a Gap, they have some as front lines, they have a Mercury for a lot of physical damage, they have Vulcan for the magical damage and a Poseidon for insane burst potential. So they have a much better team composition than we do. We have a lot of damage dealers, and that's about it. However, that sometimes works out. If you can get a steamroll going on, you can actually win these kind of games. So if we don't get first blooded in the first 1 second, we should be a lot better to go. You can see a good amount of damage already on the Gap and he's forced to retreat. I'm not sure if he's going to back, it seems like he's not. That's alright. He doesn't really need to, but it's still risky for him to do not do it. Unfortunately, nice Gap shield from the enemy Gap, saving Poseidon's life from my 2. It at this point doesn't do enough damage. I wasn't in range to do it before it was strong enough. I'm trying to do some auto attacks, but my positioning needs to be a lot more careful. And I suck all the digs, I missed too many autos. That's unfortunate and it also cost me my ult. However, I have forced a retreat on them. The beats into the Kokokon tornado was actually a pretty good thing to do on that point. I am retreating at this point, no mana equals not a lot of damage on AMC. I do still have my auto attacks, but at this point, with the amount of damage I can get from my abilities, it's better to just retreat. Especially since I don't have any escapes other than my slow ultimate from Merc and ultimate from Samukon used at this point, so that's actually a good thing because one of them was enough to finish them off. As you can see, Vulcan is using all his abilities on me. Doesn't do too much. He did get my hive, but there's still a hive somewhere hiding behind a nice pillar. There's actually a dead spot on the turret where you can hit it as a hunter or a magical ranged damage dealer. So you are safe to go. And actually a pretty nice ultimate from the enemy Poseidon, able to pick up our Kukulkan without having any escape. However, even though the Gap shield saved his ass, nice ultimate from our Nox actually prevents him from dying. So that's really nice. Again, a nice ultimate. And here you can see I used my cripple on my ultimate to prevent Gap from rolling out. And I used my 2 through the wall, able to pick him up nicely. At this point I do have a lot of gold. They did already clear the buffs on the right side. They haven't respawned yet. I do have the timers on them now, but they will be the same on the left side, so it's not really too much of an issue. I will go for the boots next. The life steal isn't that important in this game mode, especially since you can back quite easily. So you're better off getting some more power of it. I could have used my ultimate there. Maybe I should have. It was a bit risky at some point because the Gap and Samukon are also in the front line. As you can see, a nice ultimate from Kukulkan, but barely not able to finish off the enemy. As you can see, Mercury is behind us. I am trying to go back a bit, trying to peel if necessary, deal some damage. And him using his... ah, that's unfortunate. Nice Gap shield again. I don't like playing against the Gap. Gap is so good at disrupting the enemy. And also saving a lot of lives with his Gap shield. That's just a bit annoying to deal with sometimes. As you can see, this game already he probably saved 3 lives to begin with. I didn't went back immediately to the base because I did need a bit more gold to finish off my boots. So at this point I have my boots finished. This will give me a lot of damage increase. A huge damage spike, as they say. I don't know if my team is fighting. They are a bit fighting. I do want to get this attack speed buff. It will help me provide a lot more damage to the enemy. I shouldn't be focusing the enemy gap, but he's the lowest on the team, and if I force him back he can't really use his gap shield to save anyone else. So that can also be very helpful. They are fighting for the left side buffs though, so I do want to try and assist. He did use his escape, and with a nice burst potential from our team we are actually able to pick him up before his ultimate even goes off, before he even gets a chance to properly cast it. As you can see, the gap is rolling out for me, probably trying to get me. I actually dodged his wave. You can see me use my beats. If I didn't, that's unfortunate. Nice ultimate on the gap, on the Mercury I mean. It's rather unfortunate. I used my beats to prevent being knocked up by the enemy Poseidon's ultimate. It did prevent me from dying instantly, but the Mercury was also lurking around with his ultimate and he was able to pick me up. Well played on his part. And now our Mercury is actually able to pick up the enemy Mercury. So it's a even out trade. A good chase, I not really want to though. I was thinking of ulting the enemy Samukan, but the ult would not have been enough. And since he was charging up his ultimate, it wouldn't have been enough to kill him. Cap shield will be down for a while. He did use it on the enemy. You can see he's rolling out again. That's unfortunate. I didn't expect the Nox silence. I wanted to use my stinger to actually prevent his rollout, to stop it from going further. But with the silence he wasn't moving as fast as I thought, and I was not able to correct it in time. You can actually correct his ultimate. You have a little bit of charge up time on his ultimate, so that's really nice. You can see the Juggernaut. Well, I still don't know what it's called, but I will call it the Juggernaut. It's still trying to get through. I did force the enemy Vulcan his ultimate, so it's definitely worth it. And as you can see, the enemy Mercury actually uses ultimate in an attempt to chase down our Kukulkan, but
Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted.
he is slowed, but with the enemies being close to us, I don't feel like chasing. Chasing rarely ends up paying off, especially in game modes like this where the enemy responds very fast. It's not always ever as effective. Nice grab from Mercury, forcing out the beats on the enemy. That's unfortunate. Nice knock silence actually preventing me from being hit. And a nice ultimate from our Kukulkan. Actually are we able to pick up the enemy Poseidon. Really, really nice. We don't have the best saving abilities to heal for the teammates, but the ones we do have are actually quite good. Unfortunately again I missed my ultimate. Should probably have waited for some form of CC, and the bleed will probably pick him up, as you see here. He had so little health I wasn't really worried too much. Although Gap could have used his ultimate. I really need to run at this point. I probably will die because of the ultimate. No, actually Samukan doesn't elect to chase me, so that's kind of luck on my part, because if he would have, I probably would have died. High probability. As you can see, I'm preventing the enemy from backing. And now I'm going for the attack speed buff. Mercury does allow me to get it, so that's really nice on his part. Doesn't provide the... It does not provide the movement speed anymore, so he has less use of it than he used to have. And as you can see, Gap has 0 damage on the buff, so we steal it immediately. Nice ultimate though. He is able to do some decent amount of damage. And they will probably be able to pick up Mercury. I do need to be careful a bit. Mercury can ult me, and that will be painful. Again, nice shadow lock. If I can only hit that one auto. Okay. I am so terrible with my ult today. Holy crap. I missed them all. At least I can hit some autos. And as you can see, the Mercury overextended a lot. Like I said, greed doesn't always pay off, especially if you're not paying attention to someone that's behind you. Because, yeah, if they just focus me, it's quite easy to get an AMC down. I mean, I've no leaps, no dashes. I do have increased movement speed with my 1, but they can be destroyed. And I only have beats tier 1, so if they force out my beats, that will be very effective. You can see they do need to stand in front of it to actually stop the minion from going through. Again, beating. I don't want to be knocked up. Looks like the gap is actually, and again a lot of actually, looks like the gap is AFK. So that really helps out a lot. I do have a good amount of lifesteal with my Soul Eater. Never mind, the gap's not AFK. Maybe he was for a little bit. We are able to get the Juggernaut or whatever it's called through, and actually the enemy team surrenders. So a quite easy game. As I said, we didn't have the best protections for our teammates, but they did use it effectively, and that makes the difference in this game. We did have a lot of burst damage, and them having 2 more tanky characters didn't really help out a lot. As you can see, the enemy damage isn't as high. The Poseidon did a lot of damage, mainly with his ultimate. He hit a few nice Krakens on me. I used beats twice on them just to get out safely without being knocked up and sucked it back into the whirlpool again. As you can see, I did a lot of damage. Even though I missed a lot of my ultimates, AMC has so much damage, and if he gets ignored, he's just plain stupid. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, good luck, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.